Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I take note of the remarks of the Honorable Prime Minister, and I'm quite keen to get to the committee stage so that we can conclude this important exercise for the benefit of the people of this country. There were a couple questions that were asked by the Leader of the Opposition, which raised just a few points that I will immediately reply to. The few points that were raised, if I may respond to that immediately.
Your Prime Minister has spoken. He answered the questions. He said he would be the only speaker.
All right, so I just want to remind members, member for Superior, so that if it is not a member for Superior, please, it's not a breach of the standing orders that you're rising on, okay? And the Attorney General was gracious enough to give us an interruption, allow you to interject. Let's get on with it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Just a few remarks. Just a few remarks, if I may be permitted, by the other side, Madam Speaker. The reality of where we are today on the bill before this House is that we appear close to getting into committee so that we can conclude the business of the House. I just want to make a few remarks in my winding up because the Leader of the Opposition seems exactly. The Leader of the Opposition allowed herself to make a few remarks, which I am going to respond to in my wind-up. One of the remarks that I make in response to the Honorable Attorney General, she wanted to know what has this government been doing since the passage of the delivery of the Achille Charles decision in July 2022. Well, one of the things that this government has done was to pass the indictable proceedings, AJIPA, criminal procedure amendments to the AJIPA legislation, which has revolutionized the pursuit of an expeditious criminal justice system in this country. And I will give one example of that. There is the case of the state against Sheldon Dudnoth. The case was filed on January 11th, 2024, alleging offenses of kidnapping and larceny of a motor vehicle. The sufficiency hearing was concluded on April 16th, 2024, with the accused committed to stand trial before the San Fernando Assizes. So that was 4 months after the accused was charged, a sufficiency hearing. And the trial judge has indicated that the trial is going to be completed within 6 months of the charge having been laid. That is to be compared with preliminary inquiries which have taken as long as 13 years. We know in the case of Mr. Achille Charles, he was in jail for 8 years before he was freed. And to make a point to demonstrate the need for us to put shoulder to the wheel, to put our criminal justice system, as this bill is seeking to do, back on track. We regret to record the fact that 2 days after Achille Charles was freed on bail as a result of the decision of the Privy Council, he was shot and killed. Mr. Achille Charles, whose name lives in memory by that decision, was shot, murdered, and killed. That is the state that we are trying, the state of crime that we are trying to fix by this legislation. And let me make a further point. Madam Speaker, in answer to the suggestion of the Leader of the Opposition that crime is runaway and somehow or the other it is the fault of this government, the reality is that crime as a public health issue is worldwide. As recently as the last 2 months, the United States Surgeon General made a declaratory statement associating the United States with the fact that crime is a public health concern in the United States of America in relation to gang and gun-related offenses. And the advisory acknowledges the high incidence of firearms-related homicides and violence in the U.S., the contributing factors and advances a public health approach to firearm injury and violence prevention. That is existing in the United States. Only 2 days ago, Belize declared a state of emergency to deal with guns and gang-related violence. So let us not pretend that the unfortunate circumstances which this government is seeking to fix by this legislation is simply limited to and exclusive to Trinidad and Tobago. It is not, and unless we put shoulder to the wheel to fix this country for the people of this country, we will always be able to find ourselves in a situation in which an opportunistic opposition will be prepared to say it's your fault and not theirs. Madam Speaker, I am not going to prolong this anymore. With those few words, I beg to move.